Good evening. This is my audience. This is my persuasive speech for Public Speaking 110. Deoxyribonucleic acid, or DNA, is present in all our cells. We're all familiar with this. It contains our genetic code. It shows hereditary characteristics. It is the blueprint that shows who we are. I believe as Christians, we also have a DNA. And that DNA was given to us by Jesus when he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and all your strength. And he follows this up by saying, love your neighbor as yourself. We find this in all the Gospels, and I feel like this is Jesus pinpointing what he wants for us. The most important thing in Christian practice. We must love God, and then we must love our neighbors. In my small hometown of Plain City, Ohio, there is a ministry that reminds us that love for our neighbors is part of our Christian DNA. The name of the ministry is DNA. Here it can be reminding us that as Christians we need to have this part of our living, but also it stands for Daily Needs Assistance. DNA began as an outgrowth of the Be the Church initiative. Be the Church is when local churches take off a Sunday and get together and do service projects for the community. They do small repairs, painting, things like this. The leaders of Be the Church realized that here in the Plain City area there was a need for a much more sustained effort to help those who are struggling, and thus was born DNA, Daily Needs Assistance. First of all, it was located in a small church, and then when the local school district built a new elementary school, it moved to the elementary school in the middle of the town of Plain City. So what does DNA do? Their motto, as written on this t-shirt, is to do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. How do they fulfill this model? Well, when I was talking to Tam Reed, the director, I asked her, which of the various branches of DNA do you feel are the most successful? The first one that she told me was the Saturday evening community meal. This, to go into a little more detail, occurs the last Saturday of every month. People begin to gather around 4 o'clock. They're given a list where they can check items that they have need of, and these are items that are personal needs. These are not covered by SNAP, food stamps, WIC. These are things that they might find difficult to find funds for to cover. These are things like deodorant, shampoo and conditioner, toothpaste, laundry detergent, diapers, various things like that. There are no income requirements at DNA. You just need to have an ID that shows you have a place of residence, and you will get your list filled. In fact, when I was talking to Tam, she told me the story that one of the very familiar faces that comes every Saturday evening once a month is an old man who's a millionaire. They've discovered this through some various different ways, and they found out but when they were talking about it as the board and leadership, they thought, you know what, we're not going to change anything. This doesn't really change anything for us. We're giving this man what he needs physically, even if he could afford it, but we're also giving him something very important in relations, because while these lists are being filled, the whole community gathers, and there's a church that sponsors a meal and everybody eats together. So this man gets to eat, he gets his needs, his physical needs met, and hopefully also relational needs met. And a big part of what DNA focuses on is not only meeting physical needs, but also building community and building relationship. Over 100 families in the Plain City area have been helped through the Saturday evening meals and DNA's work. Another thing that DNA does is they host a weekly pancake breakfast. I introduce to you 2 regulars at the pancake breakfast every week. They go to the pancake breakfast, they fill out their menu, they eat there, and they get to meet people, interact with people that they wouldn't usually see on an everyday basis. They've made friends and just enjoyed the time together. Another important thing that happens during the Saturday morning breakfast is Kids Closet is open. Kids Closet is a good place. It's a thrift store, and people shop on Saturday mornings, which all the quotation marks mean is that the clothes are laid out from newborn to young adult. If your child needs clothing, you can go to the Kids Closet and you can pick out what you need and go home with it. During the winter, they try to make sure that there are coats, boots, and blankets there as well, so that people don't get cold and kids have the coats that they need as they go to school. DNA also provides tutoring during the school year, Monday through Thursday. For grades 5 through 8, they feed the kids a snack. They tutor them, help them with their homework. If they need internet access and a Chromebook, that's available for them to work on too. They separately from that, they have a mentoring program, lifting together for friendships. This is for kids from 2nd grade on to young adult. And they want to, again, it's very relational. They want to give these kids a safe place to be, a good person to talk to. This one is something that you need to apply for, and there's background checks involved, but the mentoring is an important program where they make sure that, where they seek out kids who are at need and give them the relational help that they need, seek to give them a bridge and a way to get out of the circumstances that they're at, to point them to a better way. Tam mentioned that this is also another especially successful program that they've had. A program that just ended, and which actually they just did it for the first time this year, and it just ended, was their summer lunch program. They got buses and went to the 3 local mobile home parks, picked up children, brought them back to the DNA. There they had different booths where they did art projects, learned about music, played and did science projects, tech, just different things. Each child could go through 3 booths, then they fed them a lunch, and after 2 hours they took them back to the mobile home park. This was to help out the kids. That was the main reason, but another benefit from this program was that it helped introduce families that perhaps didn't know about the DNA or perhaps hadn't connected with it, to give them a little bit of an idea of all of the program that DNA offers. And at the end of the 4 weeks, everyone was very enthusiastic about everything that had happened. They looked forward to having the participants, the volunteers, the staff all said, we do need to do this again. This was a good program. The final thing that I'm going to talk about here, the final program that a final program DNA has, is if you're expecting a baby and you're not able to get the supplies together that you need, clothing, diapers, etc., DNA will give you a baby shower. They decorate, they have wrapped gifts, they celebrate with you as you anticipate the new arrival. DNA is a very busy ministry. You can tell that it can be very easy for people to be stretched as they seek to meet all the needs. They are working hard to be a very visible light to people and to show them that what Jesus means when he talks about loving neighbors and walking with people, doing justly. So if you're wondering how you can help, there are several ways. The first way that I would think about is you can volunteer. You can make pancakes on a Saturday morning. When it's your church's turn to help supply the food on that Saturday evening of the month, you can help with that. You can serve, you can help clean up. You can apply to be a mentor or a tutor, or the very simplest thing you can do is you can show up on a Saturday morning, fill your plate, eat pancakes, and make friends. Another thing that you can do is you can donate. At this point, there are 12 area churches that support the DNA financially. They cover many of the programs, but not all, so there is always need for more funds. If you would like to donate, you can go to their website, www.dnaplaincity.org, and this is a nonprofit ministry, so your donations will be tax deductible. And you can also give donations in kind. Right now, they're focusing on getting jeans, new and gently used for school children as school starting up again, so kids can go to school feeling well dressed and ready for a new year. Another thing that they're doing is filling backpacks with school supplies, so kids are ready in that way as well. You can donate in kind for both of those. DNA has as its stated goal, do justice, love mercy, walk humbly. This should be the desire for all Christians. And in our community, the DNA is an excellent way to begin to fulfill the commands of Christ to love our neighbors as ourselves. They reach out to all. They seek to reach the lonely children and to the stealthy millionaire. They want to be God's light in this community. Would you consider helping them? Thank you very much.